In this video, I will be showing you how to control a lift using a potentiometer. So what I started doing in my code is I set up my motors and sensors in the motor and sensor setup window. I set up my sensors, my analog sensors for my potentiometer, and my 393 motors. This one's the one that controls my lift. Now, inside the main method, I started by creating variable x equals 1. This basically acts as a time holder for my entire lift to run. So it sees that x is less than 100, this is now, and what's inside this while loop run. Now inside this while loop, I have an if statement and an else statement. What this does is that it sees the potentiometer value, and if it's less than 1500, and right now it's about 2000, so if it's less than 1500, this would run. But right now it's not less than 1500. So what I did was I made an else statement, and this motor would run negative 100 in power, so it would run backwards. But in my case, it would lift the lift up. And once it's lifted to when the potentiometer is less than 1500, this interior while loop would run. And inside this interior while loop, I have an if, else if, and else statement. And in this if statement, I make sure that the potentiometer value is greater than 1460, because when it's less than 1460, meaning that the lift is too high, the motor would power off. And if the sensor value is greater than 1465, then it would mean that the lift is too low, and it would set my motor power to negative 30 and increase the height of the lift. Now what I did here was I incremented x, and by doing so, I would be able to make sure that this interior loop, or letting the lift stay at a certain position, stay at a certain time. So when x is greater than 100, this will stop executing, and it would exit all loops and shut off. Now, by doing this, this controls the entire time-based period. And when I download this to my robot, I will be able to find my potentiometer value and find my desired lift position. You can do so by going to Robot, Debugger Windows, and make sure Sensors is checked, and it will be down here.
This is an example of how my code would run and power this lift once I start my program.